Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you'll get notified when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion like Barb here, hello Barb, I hope you had a great day. You can join me live at 4 p.m. Central Time most weekdays, or outside of my live stream, you can consider joining the Discord I created. There's a link for that down in the description below. Hey, Rick and Pretty Girl's mom, how you guys doing? Also, down in the description below, there is a link for a link to a Pinterest board. And on that Pinterest board is a lot of our family's favorite whole food, plant-based recipes. Today is day 698. Is that right? Oh my. Let me see. Now I gotta go here. 696. Day 696 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 200 pounds. I have just over 13 months left to go to lose the last 90 pounds or 85 pounds, I guess it is now. I'm looking forward to reaching my goal within that time and then spending the rest of my life at a healthy weight. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I'd love to hear about those as well. If you're working on your diet, or if you're succeeding or struggling, just what are some of the things that you're doing that that's making it easier to stay on your diet than falling for the temptations? What are you doing to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative, which is eating that crap food, eating that stuff that you shouldn't be eating? Let's go ahead and switch over to the main viewer here. Yesterday was a fairly busy evening after the stream. I had to run around. We've been having a lot go on with work over the past few months. And one of the big things that's going on right now is that we have to be out of the building that we have been in for over 10 years within the next few days. So we've been working very hard to get everything moved over and switched over, and there's lots of work with phones and internet stuff and just all the logistics of that. So things have been very busy with that. Through all of it, for me, I've still been sticking to the diet. I've had no issues with sticking to the diet. I've put things in place that have made it easier for me to stick to the diet than maybe it would have been a year ago. Like I have an Instapot at the building I'm at now. So today I had 5 potatoes and a half a bag of broccoli today at work. Whereas last year, if I ate at work, it might have been a can of corn that I heated up in the microwave, or some pineapples. So I also wasn't as busy last year at this time as I am this year at this time, which has been one, I guess, is kind of fed the other, as far as if I wouldn't have lost weight, I wouldn't have probably pursued all the work that I'm doing right now. Like I said, yeah, the work wouldn't maybe have come up if I hadn't lost the weight that I've lost. So, um, it's been nice to have everything, like I've slowly increased the amount of just work I've been doing over the past couple years. Even though I always felt like I was a busy person, but I just there's you can be busy sitting at a desk, and then there's busy when you can sit at a desk, but you can also go do other things or be more active. I'm just looking here. There is a chance that I did not take any photos of food. Oh, I did take a photo of the food last night. Okay. So, I'm just going to go over the food here real quick. I don't have many photos, like I just said, and I can't tell you the name of this recipe that we had last night. I do know that it was a Well Your World recipe, and that it was something with the word lemon in the title. But it is a lemon soup, I guess, from Well Your World that was really good. The texture of the zucchini was a little bit, when I was eating it, it almost like, it felt like it was like squeaking against my teeth, as weird as it may. I don't know how else to explain it. But it was it was really good. It had great flavor. It was kind of a spring dish that we had going into the fall. I don't think it was, it wasn't quite a fall dish, but it was very good. And I think I had 2 bowls of that last night. I had a couple bowls of that last night. And then I didn't end up taking any photos of the rest of the food that I ate. But today at work, or at early for breakfast today, I had oatmeal. It was our savory oatmeal, the mushroom, onion, spinach oatmeal. I had that for breakfast, and then for a very late lunch. In fact, I finished lunch about 5 minutes before I got on here and started streaming today. I had the 5 or so potatoes and a half bag of broccoli for lunch today. And I actually did have I had a potato earlier, just because Carrie was at work today and she had cooked a whole Instapot full of potatoes, and I ate a couple potatoes just walking around, like an apple, like the weird, as weird as it is to eat a potato like an apple. It is a great snack, and it's very easy to, just to have them laying around so you can grab and eat them. So that was the food for the past day here. We, like I said, I've been very busy with work, but I was really happy with yesterday's results, losing the 1.6 pounds. And then coming in today, I actually weighed even less than yesterday. So that is kind of how it works for me, though. I tend to be at my lightest on Friday. If I really wanted to weigh in at my lightest weight, I should weigh in on Fridays, because I generally... Hey, Carrie's checking in saying hello. What was the name of the soup last night? I can't remember it. It was something from Well Your World, and it was lemon. I can't remember, though. I hope everything's going great at home today, too. Forgot that. I should have said that first. I totally lost my train of thought. I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Oh my. Is anybody listening? She says she's not sure what the name of it is. Lemon soup. Maybe. Yes, Carrie has soccer craziness tonight. She's got to run the kids out to soccer. You distracted me, and now I can't remember what I was about to talk about. And it was, I should write notes down, so I actually have things to talk about. It's gonna drive me nuts. Just sit here until I figure it out, or somebody says, I don't know. Busy with work. Oh yes, I weigh less on Friday. Thank you, Barb. See, I know if I waited long enough, somebody would help me out. Thank you, Barb. Rick says that he misses those soccer days. Enjoy them while you can. Yes. It's very fun watching them kind of figure it out and do what they can, and especially when they're really young. As they get older, it's getting a little bit more serious, but still not to the point where it's that serious. So, yeah, so I was happy with the weigh-in is what I was talking about, and how I weighed less today. But generally how it goes is that I do weigh in. I lose weight throughout the week. It tends to, and then I'm home on the weekend, and I tend to fill back up or put on a little bit of weight over the weekends. This weekend may be a little bit different because, like I said, I'm very busy with work, and I'm going to be, Carrie's leaving me this weekend. She's taking the kids and she's leaving for the weekend. So I have to fend for myself. Luckily, I've been working a lot at cooking for myself over the past few months too. That's something that I have relied heavily on Carrie taking care of the food throughout this whole diet, and really throughout our whole relationship. And over the past couple months, I have started picking up some of these recipes. And a little bit of it was that I didn't know how to cook any of this stuff, and, you tell me, you asked me to make macaroni and cheese, or even make, spaghetti, and, that's probably as easy or easier than mac and cheese, but, just make simple meals. I can make simple meals. I can make a great grilled cheese sandwich. But making the meals that we eat now are a little more complicated, and they take a little bit more preparation, and they are a little bit different than the way, the cooking styles and techniques are slightly different than, in some ways, than how I had ever cooked before when I did cook. And so I've picked up cooking a few dishes, the mega veggie chili, the polenta and the white beans, and there was something that we were just talking about, that there was another meal that I had made recently too. But just using the Instapot too to make the potatoes and the broccoli, which is super easy to do. But having that at work, I guess maybe a little bit is I hadn't really used the Instapot much, and I'm getting better at using the Instapot. And I think that the Instapot's a great tool for eating this way. And we use it just about every day. We use the Instapot to work on our food. But But yeah, I'm feeling great. The weight's coming down. I'm hoping to continue, that 1.6. I hope 1.6 is the least I lose each week. And it needs to be kind of the least I lose each week if I want to reach my goal. So I have to make sure that I'm sticking to the diet, and that any opportunity I do get to maybe expend a little bit of extra energy, I don't miss. And I've actually done that a couple times in the past week, is parking away from the door. It also, I have a very large pickup truck with an 8-foot bed on it, and it takes up a lot of space. So it works out for me to park at the back of the parking lot and walk. But it also benefits me to just little things that don't take up much of my time to maybe add a couple steps is going to help, and probably going to need to start looking at doing some, maybe some calisthenics, or doing some just, sit-ups and push-ups every day, just to kind of get my metabolism going, to make sure that I'm losing weight. And, we'll see how things go here once I get under 300 pounds. That's always been my biggest struggle, is to lose the hard weight under 300 pounds, I guess, because I had been under 300 one time before, but I was on a prescription that was suppressing my appetite, and it was easy. But when I had to do it on my own, once I couldn't take that medication anymore, I wasn't able to continue to lose weight. And so that's something I'm gonna have to. It's part of why I keep track of my weight, why I weigh in, is so that I can see what I need to do to keep losing weight. And for the past 11, well, prior to this month, because this month I've been great. I'm 29 days in, which is awesome. But prior to September there, I wasn't so perfect. The and another part of making it to my goal is that I have to hold myself accountable now, and I have to make sure that I am making the best decision for me at the current moment, at the present time, when I'm faced with the option to either eat something healthy or eat something unhealthy, or not eat anything at all, or what I should do. I need to make sure that I'm always making the best choice for me in that moment. And I feel that that is important on any diet to succeed. When you start off on a diet, your focus is to be so perfect, and you work really hard to be perfect. And when you're perfect on your diet generally works perfectly for you. It does what you want it to do. But a lot of times in the past, for me, those perfect diets weren't sustainable. They weren't diets that you could keep doing because they were such low calorie, or they were something where I was taking a prescription that you could only take for a certain amount of time. And you then get to a point when you're in the diet and you're faced with that decision about whether or not to continue to be perfect with your diet, or to fall into whatever temptation it is, or whatever you're doing that is outside of your diet. And when you can fight that for so long, but at a certain point with many diets, you get to a point where you're fighting yourself, and then your mind starts finding ways to convince you to eat that food. And in order to get you to eat that food, your mind is generally going to do one of two things. But both of those things that it does is it removes your decision from the present. And the first is that you'll look back and say, hey, look at all that you accomplished over this past time. For however long you've been doing this diet, you've lost this much weight, you've been kicking butt, you deserve to have that. And what's one? Like you've been abstaining from it for so long. What's having one, And your mind takes you away from the present, and it takes you to your past, and it tries to convince you to succumb because of your past accomplishments. Or the other thing it does is it tells you to push the responsibility off onto the future you. That, it may not necessarily push hey, you've been doing this for the months, it's been great. It may be like, hey, you can do that again. Just have this, and then you'll just repeat that. You'll just do what you did for the past 2 months, for the next 2 months, and you'll get back on the wagon. You won't have any problems just having one. Just do it one time. Just a little bit of that won't hurt. And you push it off yourself and you put it onto a future you that you hope shows up. And prior to that diet, you even started, you were relying on that future you for a long time. Like this is a cycle that we go through, that you then start to eat that junk food, and then you keep putting it off onto the future you, and then eventually your whole diet falls apart and you're eating junk food all day. The whole time you're eating, you're saying, well, I'll just do it tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, and then eventually you get to the point where you can't handle it anymore, and you start trying again, and you start doing whatever you're gonna do again. But it's you almost get to a point where you have to hit this rock bottom to convince yourself to do it again. And when you've had these mild successes, which I've had over the past 20 years, they looked grand at the time. When I lost 80 pounds in 2009, or when I lost 120 pounds in 2013, those were grand successes at the time, but they were failures in the end. And it was because I let those temptations come in, and I said that, the future you will take care of this. And then for 5 years, you keep pushing it on to the future you, until finally you just, you decide to say, hey, today's the day. And if you could just focus on the present, the today is always the day. It's not what I've accomplished. Everything I've accomplished before today means nothing if I make a bad choice today, because that bad choice I make today could lead to bad choices for the next 5 years again, the next 10 years again. And if I continue to hold myself accountable at the time, then I can succeed because I'm actually doing the thing I need to do. And I can hold myself completely accountable too. Like I can, because I have no excuse not to. Like like if I don't allow myself to celebrate my previous accolades or push the problem onto my future self, then what other choice do I have than to make the best option, to make the best choice for myself, and so that is been something that I feel like I've been focusing on more in this past 28 days is that I'm making the right choice for me, for the situation, and the choices that I'm making are not going to harm me. They're not going to, I'm not indulging just for the sake of taste, pleasure to indulge in that thing. So, um, and I think that's important for any diet, whether you're eating this diet or any diet. If you can continue to hold yourself accountable in the present, then you will succeed. I think that the nice thing about this diet is that I can always eat. Like I'm never worried about, because my diet isn't a calorie count diet. There's not a 1200 calorie ceiling. There's not an 1800 calorie ceiling. There's not a 3000 calorie ceiling. There's no ceiling with the diet. So when I'm faced with the choice of eat or not eat, I can always choose to eat. It's just that I have to choose, I'm limited to what I can choose to eat. But I have all those foods in abundance. I can eat it in abundance. I can eat fruits and vegetables and legumes and uh, all that stuff. I can eat in abundance. Whereas other diets, a lot of times the choice was, if I want to stay on diet, if I want to stay under calories, I have to choose to not eat. And so it's either eat or not eat, because by eating, even if it's on diet, it put you over the calories for the day. And that is that's where when you're putting yourself in a position of choosing between eating and not eating, and you're constantly doing that day after day after day, and you're always choosing the not eating. I'm hungry, but I'm choosing not to eat. It's 8 p.m. I'm hungry again. This is the 10th day in a row I've been hungry at 8 p.m. I'm not eating because I can't eat, because I go over my calories. And eventually you get to day 60 and your body's like, we've been telling you every night for the last 60 days that we're hungry. You need to eat. And if you make it that many days, and then you give in the one time, and it really can wreck some diets, but then if you do eat, when you give in, then it starts to be, well, now I gave in, and then you have to fight the fact that you have this temptation and you've given in recently, but you're not going to give in today, because and it's just hard. Like I said, I think it all comes down to holding yourself accountable in the moment, in the present time, and uh, being in a mindset where you're making the best choice for your health for the rest of your life by what you eat right now. And I found that it's made me feel great. And even though I'm still over 300 pounds, I've never felt healthier in my life. I feel more flexible, and I was doing yoga for months, and I feel as flexible or more flexible than I ever felt doing that yoga when I lost weight 8-9 years ago now. I just, I'm frustrated that it took me to 40 to figure it out. Really, that's got to be the thing that's the most irritating, because if I had figured this out 10 years ago, I think I would have had a much different decade. But I'm sticking to it now, and it's doing good. So I got a bunch of stuff to do tonight, so I am going to get out of here for today. I want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon, hit the thumbs up, like the video, join the family, and lose some weight. You know, start your diet right now. Get started, guys. Nobody ever wishes they would have waited. Everybody wishes they would have started sooner. Me too. I wish I would have started sooner, like 10 years ago. But I'm getting closer to my goal, and I'll be there soon enough. Or you know, it took me this long to gain the weight. It's going to take me some time to lose it. So, but I will be live again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Time. If anybody has any questions or wants me to go over any topic specifically, make sure that you leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow.